Alright everybody, welcome back to the fantastical world of Pokeclicker. We have returned yet again because there was a new content update yesterday and I was too tired to do anything yesterday, so we're here now. But as you can see on the right, I have finished the Catch 100 Hoopas quest, and I have also completed Dr. Splash's research project, or at least stage that we were at before. That was like get a bunch of gems. So let's do these in order of priority. So let's head over to Kalos, and we're going to talk with Baraz over here in Kilode City, who seems to be giving us the prison bottle. And Baraz flies into a Hoopa Hoop and seems to disappear, but there is a giant Hoopa Hoop over here, and we've got to battle a Lugia is what it appears. Alright, and Hoopa is now in its unbound form, and it throws us into a Hoopa ring that sends us far, far away, but we've got another Hoopa ring over here. It's got a Rayquaza inside of it, and a Latios, and I'm assuming the next one is going to be a Latios. And with that all finished, we get thrown into another Hoopa ring, and now we are fighting a Primal Groudon. This is going pretty much the same way as the movie did, with all of these legendary Pokemon convening. There's good old Dialga and Palkia, and now we're being thrown into another ring all the way here on the right side, which now has Mega Rayquaza and probably Mega Latios and Mega Latios. And we're getting thrown into another ring right here where we have to fight Kyurem Black. And down goes Kyurem White, and we're being tossed into one last ring where we fight Hoopa Unbound itself. We're 2 regions ahead of this guy, so it's not going to be too hard for us to defeat Hoopa Unbound. And just like that, we have captured a Hoopa Unbound for ourselves. Very nice. Alright, now let's head on over to the Magikarp Jump sub-region, and we need to talk to Dr. Splash, who hopefully doesn't have it. They have more things for us to do. Okay, so I need to catch and hatch all of these Pokemon, and we'll have that going in the background. But I think that brushes up all of our old business, so let's go ahead and see what new business we've got in all the different regions. Nothing in Kanto, nothing in the Sevi Islands, everything's calm in Johto. But it does seem like we have a new facility over here in Johto called the National Park, where we can take part in the bug catching contest. Let's talk to the park attendant and see what they have to say. It says all kinds of bug Pokemon can be found in the park, and you can get, or they can be caught for contest tokens. So it seems like they've introduced another currency into the game. And this guy has mentioned that there's something that we can buy in the shop. Oh, we can buy a Sudowoodo in a golden form. Now that is tempting. Well, I'd say we should try out this bug catching contest and see what it's all about. This seems to be very similar to every Safari Zone that's come before this. It seems like you can also gain levels in the Safari Zone to make it easier to speed up the Safari Zone, which is interesting. We've got some quest tokens, so let's go ahead and see what this is like. We've got a Spinnerack here. It's got a 52% chance to catch, so I'm going to throw a ball at it and cross my fingers and really, really hope that the Spinnerack is going to stay in the ball. Nice. That gave us 7 contest tokens. And increased our level a little bit. Okay, this time we've got a Kakuna who's a little bit more difficult. I'm going to hit him with a rock. The Kakuna is angry, but it didn't leave, which raised its catch chance to 60%. I think that's good enough. Let's try and catch the Kakuna. And 60% is good enough. But that one only gave us 4, even though it seemed like it was harder to catch. So maybe it has to actually deal with the catch percentage, or maybe it's different for every Pokemon. There's a grub in here, and that's... you can't find those in this region. 52%. Let's throw another ball, see what happens. Maybe the Grubbin's gonna stay in the ball. Alright, it seems like all the Pokemon are being really nice to me, and we got 10 contest tokens that time. So maybe it has to do with how hard it is to find the Pokemon later on. I'm gonna throw a rock at this Cascoon, and it's gonna get real mad at me. And it decided to leave. You know what? Fair enough. Oh, there's a little Paris in the bottom right corner. Let's see what's up with this Paris. It's a 41% chance to catch. Eat this rock. And the parasites decide to leave. I'm not gonna... You know what? We'll catch the Caterpie just to see if I can confirm my theory that Pokemon from later gens give out more contest tokens. Catching the Caterpie did give us 3, so it is not very comparable. Let's walk over this Pokeball, and it seems we found a luxury ball for free. So there are just random items over here in the Safari Zone. So what's to stop me from just staying in the Safari Zone for forever? Because it's not based on steps, it's based on whether or not I run out of balls. So I feel like I could just stay here forever and get an infinite amount of items. Oh, we also got an achievement for walking 100 steps in the Safari Zone. What's to stop me from just maxing out that achievement on my first run? Other than wasting all of my time for today, but like, I wasn't planning to do anything today. Wow, you're getting really lucky on catching all of these bug types. I don't think we've had a single one break out of the ball yet. Ooh, a Snob. That's even higher than Grubbin. Snob, please be nice to me. I know it's only like a 50-50 chance, but... Okay. Oh, but the Snob was only worth 4, so that means that it's not based on Pokemon from later gens. They just all have their own different values. But let's try and catch this Blipbug and see what we get for the Blipbug. The Blipbug has decided to flee. Ooh, you know what? We need to catch a Dwebble for our quest line. It would help me if I could just catch this Dwebble, please. I'd have to catch Dwebble one less time, and it has fled. Alright, Venonat, I'm just gonna throw a ball at you, and you're either gonna catch, or you're gonna die. Well, you just decide not to die. That was worth 10. Venonats are 10. But there's probably a chart that has all the values for what each independent Pokemon is worth. So, if you're gonna come into the Safari Zone and grind contest coins for the Golden Sudowoodo, it's probably best to look at that. Whoa, hold on. A whole Orbeetle just spawned. This is crazy. I think I'm just gonna throw all my balls at it and hope that I get the catch chance before I get the escape chance. 4th time's the charm, as they say, and... Nope. And it's fled. Weedle, can you please just go in the ball? I was having such a good streak at the start of this, and now I'm doing absolutely terribly. I got overconfident very quickly, and now the karma is catching up with me. Thank you, Beetle. That was only 3, though. Alright, I've got only 1 ball left, and I'm gonna throw it at this Durant, but not before I use the rock, and hope that the Durant is not going to flee. Alright, prime catching right here. 50-50 chance, here we go, and we didn't catch the Durant. Alright, so after those 30 balls, I have 79 contest coins now. That's pretty close to 2,000, right? Alright, I'm gonna skip over the Hoenn region here for a second. Let's go to Sinnoh. I don't think anything was happening in Sinnoh, though. Go to Unova, where I know for a fact something was going on. We now have a bulletin board with a quest telling us to go investigate the P2 laboratory. I wonder what that could be about. So if we look into the P2 laboratory, we find a shiny Genesect flying away. Well, now it seems like something is up with Castelia sewers, but I'm not quite sure what. It's another red Genesect, or maybe it's the same one. It's probably the same one, actually. And there goes that Genesect. Now it wants me to clear Castelia sewers at least one time in order to find more clues about this red Genesect. But we seem to have found an ancient bug hunter who talks about Genesect and that it is a little confused about the world because it was just revived from a fossil, but all the Genesects are now circling the city and threatening the lives of the innocents, so I guess I should do something about this by KOing all of them. Alright, down goes Chill Drive. So after beating all the forms, something is going down in Castelia City. There's a battle between a Genesect and another Pokemon. A red Genesect and a powerful Pokemon you don't recognize exchange Energy Blast. So that's partially true. The red Genesect is now heading east, which implies that it's going back to the P2 laboratory, I think. Oh, but now that it's leaving, we're gonna fight it again before it has a chance to escape. And it wants me to start digging in order to find the red Genesect. So I guess I'm back on the old mining train here for a bit. Alright, I have finished mining 5 layers of the underground, and I have been reminded why I never do the underground. But it seems as though we need to catch Genesect over in the P2 laboratory. So let me go ahead and change one of my Pokeball filters so that that'll work. And hopefully we get a run through fairly quickly where we find a Genesect. Oh, okay. It seems like all the drives are now items that we can find in the P2 laboratory. Hey, okay, we found a Genesect in P2 laboratory. And for some reason I didn't catch it. Wait, I think my Pokeball filters are messed up. It is a bug type, so I mean, I guess it wasn't a Master Ball like I would have preferred it to be, but... okay, this one isn't turned on. That's why. That's a little embarrassing. Yeah, I got the Shock Drive on this run through, so I think I have all of the drives now. And that's a Killing Clang, okay. Alright, we've got Genesect here, and that's a Master Ball, 100% catch rate. Okay, so I gave a Burn Drive to a Genesect, and now I'm going to hatch one. And, okay, it seems like there's not specific forms for each of the Genesects whenever I leveled it up, but it seems like that's not the case. It just seems like it has different drives. Moving on, as we saw before, there's nothing for us to do in Kalos. However, I believe there was one thing that we could start over here in a Lola, which is that we can help Silvally get some of its type memories back. So let's head on over to the Aether Foundation, which is just outside of Akala. So Gladian needs 17 different memories in order for Silvally to get all of its own memories back. Those have to be around somewhere, but it seems like it wants me to beat Fighting type Pokemon, Rock type Pokemon, Dark type Pokemon, and Fairy type Pokemon. Or rather, I need to catch or hatch those specific Pokemon, so I'm not going to worry about that for now. I can always do that later. So let's head back over to the Hoenn region, and we can now click on the bulletin board to start the Shadows in the Desert quest to explore the Ore region and uncover the origin of Shadow Pokemon. Let's see what this is all about. So we now have sub-regional travel in Hoenn, and the other region here is Ore. Let's see what the Outskirts Stand has here. This guy wants to fight us because I think we just saw them doing something illegal. So let's fight this guy, who's got only 2 Zigzagoons. We can now go play Rock, Paper, Scissors over here in the Rock Poke Spot. And the Rock Poke Spot does not have any new Pokemon for us, so I'm just gonna beat 10 Pokemon here and then be on my merry way. But this cool dude says that there's a lot of crime going on. The cool dude mentions using catch filters. Now I have heard about this. In order to catch Shadow Pokemon, there's a specific catch filter that you have to use. So I'm gonna make a new filter and see what that is all about. Maybe it's here in category? No. Okay, it doesn't seem like we have anything that indicates specifically Shadow Pokemon, but I'm gonna hold out because we might unlock it here in a sec. Once we fight this random shady guy who's got a Whismur and another Whismur. He's carrying a sack, and the sack did not like being dropped. Inside the sack is a girl, and the girl is Rui. She mentions that we can now use catch filters to catch Shadow Pokemon. Okay. Yeah, we do have 2 new catch filters for Shadow and Caught Shadow, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put both of these on, just because I don't know how often it's going to be that we find a Shadow that we've already caught, or maybe what the benefit is of catching a Shadow that we've already caught. Now it wants us to beat 10 trainers who are using Shadow Pokemon in Phoenix City. We've got Phoenix City Battles, seems to be its own little dungeon here. Not very expensive to do, so I'm not expecting them to be too difficult. And it would probably help if I turned on the catch filter that allowed us to catch Shadow Pokemon. Oh, okay. Up in the top left, it just said that my Genesect turned into a Burn Drive Genesect. I'm a little distracted now because I previously thought we were doing Shadow Pokemon. So I think I was wrong before about the drives not doing anything. Transforms, and wow, the game is going through a huge lag spike right now. Ooh, that was a Shadow Croconaw, but it didn't catch for us for some reason. I think I need to change my catch filters again. I think we're gonna lose unless we can beat this guy very quickly, and we did beat them very quickly, so never mind. I mean, we have the Shadow and the Caught Shadow filters on. Do I need to turn off Caught Shadow in order for this to work? Okay, let's try that again, but this time let's actually try to catch a Shadow Pokemon. Shadow Bayleaf. Okay, that time it did catch, so you can't have caught Shadow and Shadow on at the same time, otherwise they're going to override each other. Alright, and the boss has a Shadow Makuhita again, but this time we get to catch the Makuhita. I still need to beat 6 trainers, so I'll be back whenever I finish beating these 6 trainers. Hopefully I don't experience too many lag spikes, because I've been getting a lot of those once I entered this region, and I'm not quite sure why. Alright, I've beaten enough Shadow Pokemon, and right now I believe we have Shadow Makuhita and the Shadow Gen 2 starters. It seems as if the mayor of the town wants to talk to me about something, and we've got Mayor Escade, and the mayor is giving me a very political answer that he'll look into the problems that everyone is experiencing, which is something, I guess. But Rui has mentioned going over to Pyrite Town. Let's see what's in Pyrite Town. Oh, a lot of stuff is going on in Pyrite Town. Mainly Pyrite Town battles are now available to us, so I'm assuming we're going to get some more Shadow Pokemon if we head in here. Ooh, and here we have a Shadow Noctowl. Once that, there it goes. Alright, the lag spike took us through the Shadow Noctowl, but we got one. Let's go ahead and start the boss fight and see what Shadow Pokemon is being used. Oh, evil Furret. Oh no. Alright, now it wants me to talk to the distraught bodybuilder Duking in Pirate Town? What kind of name is Duking? Duking is kind of angry at something. They're out at the Coliseum calling that's the name of the game. That's the name of the game there. Okay, I restarted my computer in order to help fight the lag spikes that I was feeling, but it wants me to do some stuff in Pyrite Coliseum for a bit, which is the name of the game that this is based on, a Pokemon Coliseum, and the most recent update added stuff from Pokemon Gale of Darkness, which are 2 side games that not a lot of people in the Pokemon community know about. They're actually considered to be the hardest official Pokemon games in the series, and even I have not played them, or know a lot about them really. But I would definitely look forward to playing through these games at some point in the future. But this guy, Bodybuilder Miraz, has no Shadow Pokemon. Good for him. Staying on the good side of things. I don't think I've actually encountered a single Shadow Pokemon in here yet. Okay, and it seems that after fighting all the trainers, there are actually no Shadow Pokemon here, but it does want me to go to the Pyrite building to fight some more people. And the Pyrite building is obviously this huge building that's right next to the entire town. Let's see what we've got going on in here. There was an icon for a Shadow Trainer, and we found a Shadow Mantine, so it does seem like there's more Shadow Pokemon in here. Got Shadow Remoraid right there. I know where the boss is, but I'm just gonna fight through all of the trainers that are in here to see if I can find any other Shadow Pokemon. Ooh, we found a Shadow Yanma right before getting out of here. And hopefully we have enough time to finish beating the boss, who used a Shadow Quillfish up front. And with that we have 10 unique Shadow Pokemon. And now I have to fight through this place 4 more times, so I'll see you in a sec. Oh, we got an Excite Scent out of a dungeon chest. I think that's one of the new items for this region that has to do with Shadow Pokemon in some way, shape, or form. Right, and now it wants us to interrogate Hunter Dawkin. Hunter Dawkin, he says that the hideout is in Pyrite Cave. Well, that was not very good of him to say. I'm going to go right there immediately. But here in Pyrite Cave, we have a Mirror Bee, who is actually one of the characters that I know without playing the Pokemon Coliseum games, because Mirror Bee's character design is just so iconic. Let's bumble about with some of these extra trainers and see if any of them are using a Shadow Pokemon that we don't have, like Shadow Meditite and Shadow Swablu. Wow, that was a really good coincidence right there. Alright, let's start the Mirror Bee boss fight, and Mirror Bee has a bunch of Ludicolo and a Pseudo-Wudo Shadow who we will take for ourselves. They are not happy that we've interrupted their plans a little bit here. But Duking Plushel has a Pokemon that we need to free, and it has run away, assumingly back to its trainer. Let's head back on over to Pirate Coliseum and we'll discuss with Rui. I really hope her name is Rui, otherwise I've been messing it up this entire playthrough and will continue to mess it up this entire playthrough. But now we're heading over to Agate Village, which is over here. But we unlocked OPS. And OPS has no new Pokemon for us, but we'll be 10 Pokemon here anyways. Let's see, we have a Cypher Peon named Dovin here, who is not that strong. Now we have Silton, and Silton is also not that strong, carrying 2 grass types. And now we have Cass, who has at least 3 Pokemon. One of them is a middle evolution, but they're all psychic types. So, but now it wants us to clear Relic Cave, and Relic Cave has some more Shadow Trainers for us to interview about whether or not we can have their Pokemon. I think I know how the interview is going to go, but we'll see. Okay, I didn't find any small trainers that were using Shadow Pokemon, but I'm assuming Scrub here is going to use one, and that is a Shadow Hitmontop for our collection. And in Relic Cave, we found Grandpa Egon, and he's telling us to take our evil Pokemon to the Relic Stone that we can use to purify their souls. Where is the Relic Stone? It's just above the town here on the map. The Relic Stone Sage is telling us to use Flow in order to purify our Pokemon that we get while training with them. We can go back to the village, or we can go into the Purified Chamber. It seems like every Shadow Pokemon that we've caught this far needs a specific amount of Flow in order for us to purify them. Okay, scroll up to where the Shadow Pokemon are that we have, specifically the Gen 2 starters, and it seems like they're not new Pokemon, it's just an effect that takes over our current Pokemon becoming Shadow Pokemon. So I think I need to put them in eggs and then level them up over and over again in order to gain Flow, which will purify them. But I'm not really too worried about that right now. Let's go over to clicks per second, or as some people call it, the Cave Pokespot. Nothing here for us again, but I wasn't expecting there to be anything new. We have unlocked Mount Battle, and Mount Battle has whoever the heck this guy is. He looks like a Kuma from Street Fighter. Oh wait, it said maximum flow has accumulated at the Purified Chamber. Let's go see what that's about. Let's purify Metatite, and it seems like that has made Metatite not a Shadow Pokemon anymore. Yeah, Metatite is no longer a Shadow Pokemon, but rather it is a purified Pokemon. So I think if this works the way that I've heard it does, I think Shadow Pokemon have less attack than normal, but purified have a slightly higher attack than normal. It's like a multiplier that I don't know exactly. If I can find it while I'm editing, I'll put it on the screen here. But maybe you get Flow just by battling Pokemon out in the wild. Let me be a few more Pokemon over here and then see what's going on in the Purified Chamber. Okay, so fighting Pokemon in the wild does just give you Flow, so it's not about leveling them up, it's about just beating Pokemon in the wild, and probably even trainers works as well. So let's get started on a few more fights. Alright, we have Cypher Admin Dakim, who uses a Shadow Entei. Whoa, okay. This guy's he's not kidding around. But now let's discuss with Rui yet again what to do. It seems as though there's a TV broadcast that we need to stop about people stealing Pokemon, and Pirate Town is now orange, so let's see what's going on. Pirate Town, specifically the Under, looks like a new area for us to go into. Find a Shadow Sneasel, that's kind of a nice pickup. Let's go ahead and let's just do the boss fight versus Cypher Admin Venus, who uses Shadow Suicune. Okay. But in this TV studio, we find an explosion. And it seems as though, yet again, we are set on the run. But now I think we have the ability to go over here to the Cypher Lab. And the Cypher Lab has probably the next big boss is literally right here. And they're probably going to use Shadow Raikou. There it is. And we got it. So I'm not sure what they said, but we're gonna go over to Real Gam Tower. These names are really something in this game. I appreciate the naming scheme of having absolutely no naming scheme and just putting random stuff together and seeing what works. But it seems like it's all of our opponents that we've already fought and whoever the heck that guy on the end is. Ooh, Shadow Heracross is a good catch. Shadow Delibird is here. I guess the big thing that helps with some of them is that some of these Shadow Pokemon have Mega Evolutions, so any multiplier towards getting a Mega Evolution easier is always good. We've got Head Admin Snag'em Head Gonzap, who used a Shadow Skarmory. But I still need to beat through this place 3 more times, so I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, the lag spikes have started to return, but hopefully that won't keep me from beating Cypher Admin, whatever the heck that guy's name was. Now it wants us to go to the top of the tower. It seems like the mayor is here that we need to help. And it turns out the mayor was actually evil the entire time, as all politicians are. But now we have access to the Real Gam Coliseum. And the mayor his costume's kind of crazy. Ooh, Shadow Absol here, that's another Mega Houndoom as well. And let's just go straight to the end where we can fight Nazcour, who's using a Shadow Metagross. All of the Shadow Megas appear to be here. Except for Shadow Tropius. Tropius does not have a Mega Evolution. Would be funny to see a Mega Tropius though. Shadow Miltank. I mean, I guess we'll get it for the Shadow Dex. We finally get to fight this Dr. Eggman looking guy, and he is using a Shadow Tyranitar. Oh, but that little guy thing disappeared here. So I wonder if that means that I've caught all of the Shadow Pokemon that are here? Because I've noticed there's been this little red tint on areas that have some Shadow Pokemon, and I'm not sure if I have all of them there. But they do keep this little kind of Shadow guy, so I'm assuming that means there's still Shadow Pokemon in those areas that I don't have yet, but this one I think I've cleared them all out. Alright, we've beaten them 10 times, but now we have to watch Evice escape. Ho-Ho seems to have destroyed a helicopter, which is good for us, bad for them. And I don't think that there's anything more to this quest line, however it did unlock a bunch of different areas for us to go to. It seems like some areas have the ability for us to re-challenge some of the admins, so let's do that. Okay, so it seems like Mirror B and that guy that we fought before are now repeatable battles, but we now have access to the Deep Coliseum. Let's see what's over here in the Deep Coliseum. Oh, Deep King Angle uses a Shadow Shuckle, and that seemed to be the only Shadow Pokemon that was in here because the little thing disappeared. But now we also have the Under Coliseum, and I think that sprite there was the protagonist of Pokemon Coliseum. I believe the protagonist Pokemon Coliseum uses an Espeon and an Umbreon at the start of the game, but Ben appears to be their name, and they have a Shadow Togetic, which was a fully evolved Pokemon at the time of this game coming out, because we didn't have Togekiss until Gen 4. It's telling me there's something else that I can do here. It seems like Ho-Oh is just randomly flying around the region. Let's head over to another one of the new areas that we unlocked, which is Fnac Stadium. See if we can find any more Shadow Pokemon that we can take for ourselves. And we have a Shadow Togepi here, which we add to our collection, but there is another Shadow Pokemon that we don't have. But this time we have a different end boss, and they use a Shadow Mareep. But there's still someone else. There's 3 different bosses here, so they probably all use different shadows. Let me see if I can find the last one. Alright, this guy uses a Shadow Scizor. Okay, that's a very good pickup, again, for increasing your Mega Power. But that does complete all the Pokemon that I needed here, so let's head over to the Snag'em hideout. Alright, it's good old Gonzap again, but this time around, Gonzap is using a Shadow Skarmory again. Okay, there's another Shadow somewhere else. Okay, there is one last area that I can go over to without having to get more Shadow Pokemon in places. And it's called the Gadion Port, which does have a Pokemart here, and they sell pretty typical stuff. Oh, and this place serves as the dock for us to still be allowed to travel to other regions. Even though it's a sub-region, it still has a dock, which, I mean, I guess all of them do, so it's not that unusual. So all I need to do now is go around and find all of these Shadow Pokemon that I missed. And that's going to be it for the Aura region for now. I believe probably the quest line for the next area has unlocked somewhere. I might have to catch all the shadow Pokemon before the next part of it becomes unlocked, but I know it became available. But I think that is going to be a good stopping point for today. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, maybe consider leaving a like on the video, and even consider subscribing. If you're watching Pokeclicker all the way this far down and you're not subscribed, what are you doing here? Help a guy out. But in the next episode, we are going to look into the Gale of Darkness storyline, and I'm going to try and purify all the rest of my Pokemon and maybe see what these extra items do that I've been collecting along the way. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.